Hi, I'm Bridget Trelaw from Sydney Seafood School at Sydney Fish Market. And today we are here with Carla Jones from Restaurant 414 in Surrey Hills. And we are going to be using the fabulous Hiramasa Kingfish, but the cutlets.
Yeah, doesn't it look beautiful?
It does. And why are we using cutlets? Why have you chosen that particular cut of the fish?
Main reason I think it looks fantastic, the shape of the fish, and it's just something interesting and different you don't see very often.
True.
But you get to experience all the different textures of the fish, like the belly with the high fat content. The flavour changes so much from up the top in the loin to down to the belly.
Isn't it interesting? You can really see like a dividing line, so it's much darker up this end, and then where the higher fat content end, which is round at the belly part of the fish, it's quite white, isn't it?
Yeah.
So of course
beautiful.
that's going to give you extra flavour, because fat adds flavour, doesn't it?
Exactly. And don't be scared because cutting through the bones. The bone structure in the fish is really quite minimal, and they're quite easy to remove if you find them.
So it's good for people who are a bit nervous about eating fish with lots of little bones,
exactly.
so you don't have that problem.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
But it's a lovely firm fish. You can see it's going to hold together really well.
Yeah, and because of the firm texture, it will hold up against the marinade. We're going to marinate in the garlic and the thyme and the basil. Because of that firmer flesh and the denser fish, it holds up against robust flavours as well as subtle ones.
Terrific. Yeah. Great. So what are we going to do?
So we're going to get it marinated first. Just a splash of oil into a flat dish, because you don't want to bend the fish. Just squash your garlic, because you're going to remove it later. You don't want to cut it too fine.
Great way to organise the garlic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very easy.
So a little bit of
okay, so you've
there.
left the paper covering on and everything. You just put the whole lot in?
You're going to remove it, because you're not going to cook with it.
Okay.
All the flavours there. There's no wasting
That's
time.
quite a bit of garlic for one cutlet, so obviously good garlic flavour.
Yeah, and the fish holds up against it. Now we're going to bruise the basil.
And what does bruise mean? And why do you bruise?
Just destroy the leaf, really.
Okay.
You want to rub it in your hands,
it.
and it just releases so much more flavour than just putting a leaf into your marinade.
You can really
so you bruise it
smell
up and you tear it, you don't cut it, and it really releases that beautiful
flavour. So tearing
flavour.
herbs is actually much better really than cutting,
Yeah,
isn't it?
recommend it.
Yes, especially if you've got a blunt knife, not good for herbs.
Exactly. Just a little bit of thyme. A little bit of thyme.
Yep.
And your fish goes in, just stir it around, flip it over.
So are we adding any lemon juice or anything else?
We're going to put just a bit of lemon zest, but nice thick piece, so we can remove it later, because you don't want it to burn on the grill. So we're just going to take the peel.
No juice?
No juice, just the zest. We're going to just a couple of pieces.
So we just want the yellow part, not the white part underneath?
The white part will be too bitter.
Yeah.
So that's just on there. And then we'll let that sit for maybe an hour in the fridge, get it ready, cover it in your herbs, because all of that will be removed later. So you want the nice big pieces of garlic, the big pieces of lemon, so it's easier to be removed. And in salad, we're going to do some salted grapes, which we'll get on now.
So just a little bit of oil?
A little bit of oil, and you're going to put a good pinch of salt on these, because we're going to dry them out in the oven, and you want them to shrivel up.
Now your salt doesn't look like normal salt.
I've just
added a
little bit of love to it.
And what does love come as?
Some dry roasted fennel seeds that we've just bashed in the mortar and pestle, and some more lemon zest, microplaned.
Lovely.
And the salt will draw the moisture out of the lemon, and it really infuses the flavour into that salt.
So putting the salt on something as sweet as these grapes, particularly as they are so sweet at the moment, it's a bit like salted caramel.
Yes. Yeah.
Same flavour combination.
Same flavour combination. You've got salty, sweet goodness that's going to work so well with this salad. So onto a baking tray, and just in the oven, about 180 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes, should get them nice and shriveled. So this is a beautiful sweet vinegar dressing. We've got a sherry dressing, which is probably the sweetest one we can find.
So sherry vinegar?
Sherry vinegar, yeah.
Okay.
And we've brought the sherry vinegar to the boil, and we've reduced it by about a third.
And that just concentrates the sweetness and the flavour?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you didn't have sherry vinegar, could you use another type of vinegar?
Yeah, you can use any other wine-based vinegar, I assume, like a white wine vinegar would be good. But I think the sherry works really well, the sweetness with the grapes and the smokiness we're going to get from our char-grilled fish.
Fabulous.
So we've just crushed up some more garlic and thyme in there, and we've reduced the vinegar, and we've whisked in some olive oil in there.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's cooled down up there. We'll strain that out for our salad.
And I suppose if you store this in the fridge with the herbs and the garlic in, it's just going to get stronger flavour, isn't it?
Oh, can you smell that? It's beautiful. So dressing's made, grapes are in the oven. And the last component to our beautiful salad, for a bit of crunch, we've got some roasted hazelnuts.
Okay, terrific. What's next?
So just wipe off the marinade, the herbs and garlic and the lemon. And you don't want it too oily on the barbecue, or you'll create a massive flame. So we're just going to put that on.
But don't wipe it off with a paper towel, because otherwise you'll take the oil off.
You still want the oil covered in a bit of oil, because we don't want it to stick to the barbecue. So with this piece, it's probably about, we're going to turn it a minute and a half.
Okay.
Just to get that crisscross of the char grilled. And then so 3 minutes on each side, turning every 1.5 minutes.
So the benefit of hiramasa is with the extra oil, there's a layer of oil between the skin and the flesh. So it's good keeping the skin on something like this, and then it sort of self-lubricates, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's a perfect fish. The texture of it and the firmness of the flesh.
So it's not going to fall
such
apart.
a breeze to cook with.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll just give that one more turn. And then we'll get our salad going. So we'll get that off. Get that little bit of a rest on our plate.
Lovely. Look how moist it is.
So quickly while that's resting, yeah, get a nice
Need the heat
warm
up a bit
pan.
more?
Just a little bit more. A little splash of oil to colour up our cauliflower.
So just a light coating. We're not shallow frying. It's just a very light coating, and it is a non-stick pan, so it's probably not going to need very
Yeah, you
much
don't want too
anyway.
much oil at this point because the dressing is going to add the flavour and the oil then. So we'll just get this nice and hot.
So just a little bit of goldenness.
Yeah. There we go. We'll start that off first. Okay, so we're going to add our kale. Just a good chunk, so we'll wilt down. It looks like it's a lot, but it's not really.
Yes, it doesn't take long, does it?
No.
And it seems to go an even better green colour, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As it starts to wilt.
As soon as it hits some heat, we've got our beautiful grapes will go in next.
Oh, so we are heating the grapes up in the pan, just to warm it all through as a warm salad.
Just to warm it all through, so it's a nice warm salad. Don't be scared. The grapes, add a good couple of spoonfuls of those because they are delicious.
And lovely contrast of colours, and obviously it's going to be lovely texture contrast as well.
Yeah. And we will put the hazelnuts in there as well, just to warm them up slightly.
So just a handful of those.
Yeah, a couple of sprinkles. Okay, we're going to take this off the heat before we add our dressing. So we've got our vinegar dressing, our
So
sherry
we've
vinegar.
strained all the bits out.
Yeah, just give
Okay.
it a whisk back together because it will separate. And you want to hit this a little bit of dressing.
And what's the benefit, just because it's a warm salad, is that why we're heating it up?
Yeah, just to get more flavour through it. Heat it up.
And the veggies will
soak it up.
absorb the
Yeah.
flavour more, won't they?
The cauliflower will soak all of that sweetness up.
And because we've got
So
the
not long,
nuts-
you don't want to overheat the dressing.
No.
You want to keep the flavour in there.
But because the hazelnuts are roasted, they're also not going to go soggy in the dressing.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah, it smells fantastic.
But these flavours will go really well, even though, I mean, the Hiramasa Kingfish has got its own flavour, but this is going to complement it but not overpower anything, is it?
Exactly, that vinegar is strong. It's beautiful.
Lovely.
In my eyes. So there we have a beautiful Hiramasa cutlet, char grilled with kale, cauliflower, salted grapes and hazelnuts.
And it doesn't really take all that long either.
No, it doesn't.
Quite easy even for the ordinary people to do at home. If you would like more information, please go to our website, sydneyfishmarket.com.au. Lots of information there about classes and recipes. And thank you, Carla, very much. This is
Thank you for having
fabulous.
me.